Good evening, everybody. Apologies for the late start. I was having a bit of a nervous mental breakdown, but I'm here now. Right. So, I'm Penny. This is issue 50, and this is my co-host, Horlicks.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. How is everyone today?
So, what have you been up to?
Just working, still ill, and spent evening trying to fix a Commodore. My dad's old Commodore. It stopped reading tapes. So I
Sounds
bought
very
some.
nice.
Yeah, I bought some new belts off the internet, thinking that might help, and it's not. I'm just waiting for some software from Kind's YouTuber from Germany, who's
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, that's it really.
Okay. Well, I was getting ready today to say I've had a wonderful week, but I've just sorry today's events has just buggered everything up. I've very kindly sent a base for the Routemasters, which was sent by Parcel Force, just to make sure everybody knows who it's sent by. And Horlicks got one on Friday. I didn't get one. Not a problem, you know, post sometimes takes a little bit longer. So I looked at my mail on Saturday, nothing. But, you know, if it's Parcel Force, they don't deliver Saturday. Monday, I get a blank card through the door. Excuse the bit at the bottom, I wrote that on. And all it says is we'll deliver the next working day. So yesterday, I leave this on my front door, asking them to leave safe. And the bugger doesn't even turn up. So I ring them up today and they confirm it's out for delivery today. And they give me a tracking number. They didn't give me a tracking number on here, look. And we look it up and it says that he attempted delivery on Friday. Well, if he doesn't push his card through the door, as far as I'm concerned, it wasn't attempted. So anyway, I said, okay, fine, it's out for delivery today. So I've left a note on the door again. I get home and now it's held in the depot. So they won't attempt it again because as far as they're concerned, they've attempted it 3 times. As far as I'm concerned, they've attempted it. He don't even turn up to the doorstep. So I've told the sender I don't want it anymore. I'm going to stick a note on the front door that says, any deliveries from me by Parcel Force, you are not welcome here. Take it back. So that's my day. So I just want to swear, really. So, yeah, if anyone ever sends me anything, send it by Yodel or Hermes because they're much better than Parcel Force. In fact, someone did send me something by Hermes, and this is how it goes with Hermes. They tried to deliver, I'm not in. So they stick a note through the door saying, sorry, we can't deliver because you're not in. The next day, I stick a note on the door saying, dear Mr. Hermes or dear whatever, I'm not in. Please leave it in my secret place in the back garden. And they leave it in the secret place in the back garden. It takes an extra day. Parcel Force, I had to explain to him what a back garden was. So anyway, isn't it funny? You go one area and Parcel Force are best. You go somewhere else and Yodel are best. So anyway, look, rant over now. So how is your base, Horlicks?
Well, it's still yeah, it's good. Yeah, I'm doing well. I haven't done anything with it yet because I need to film the next issue that I've got before I can actually use it. So
of course, yeah, you haven't you haven't officially got the bags yet, have you?
No. So yeah.
Well, in case you hadn't noticed, I'm in the middle of a rearrange. I did try and rearrange the room, and I haven't managed to finish it, but it's getting there. Chris, we were supposed to be trying to get a guest on the show today, Chris Davies, but he's having trouble getting on the show. I was on a late finish today, so I've not been able to sort of get things sorted out. If we can't get it on with that link, Chris, we're gonna have to try again another day because obviously we're now in the middle of the broadcast. I'm sorry, I'm gonna sound really short and horrible today, but I'm just and yeah, thank you, Steve Lee. Yeah, I really do. And today I at work I get told we've taken you off your second trip. Can you go to the depot and see the operations manager? I said, okay, what about? So they say, don't know. So my second trip gets covered by the spare driver. I go all the way to depot. Takes me 10 minutes to get there, to be told, I'm sorry, I'm in a meeting, go back to the bus station. So I don't know if I'm going to get the sack, if I'm going to get promoted, or if I'm going to get a pay rise. I don't know. So yeah, it's I don't know. And she knows she's done this before, where she's called me in and the only thing I do know is I'm not up for disciplinary because they have to give you notice for that. But I said to her, I go, am I in trouble? She goes like, why do you think you're in trouble? I said, because you called me in for a meeting, and no one ever calls me in for a meeting for nice things. So and really, really good thing. I'm really, really pleased with this. I did my first disciplinary as a union rep, and I'm told I did really well. Did you, Penny?
Well, yeah, I remember. No, I remember you had one.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think. Wow, were you a bit? Because you were a bit nervous about it, weren't you, or not?
I was really, really nervous because I've not had any training. I've never done it before. And we thought the guy was going to get the sack. I can't go into too many details, but obviously most people who work will know that they've got a disciplinary procedure. And if you do lots of minor little things, you get like a top up, don't you? And then you get to a final warning, and then if you do something just tiny wrong, then obviously they've got no choice but to sack you because the level of warning that you're already on. And so really it was a case of and if anything happens good, then that's a bonus. So yeah, thank you, Steve. Yeah, maybe I do just need to rant every now and again. I think I'm also guilty of, I've had a week off and I've worked really hard, but I've had a good time, and I've gone back to work and it's just the same old crap day in, day out, isn't it? And I'm not talking about just work, I'm talking about life. So, but yeah, so anyway, we got a good result on this disciplinary, and yeah, really, really happy. And yeah, it's obviously I can't go into too much details, but yeah, we're really happy. So, and I didn't really have to fight that hard. So let me take a miniature break. I'm going to go and get my seats, and then we will crack on with issue 50. So Horlicks, if you want to do a little sing a song or something.
Sing a song, yeah. No, well, I could say hello to everyone actually. So hello to. Right, let's hope I don't miss anyone. Love Minis, hello. Chris Camplin, Johnson Hazel, Roger Kendall, Steve Graham, hello. Steve Lee, Izzy, Fleetwood J. Then we've got Dave Milne, hello. Steve Graham, hello. Dave Say, hello. Paul, hello. Sol, hello. Love the pitch you sent me earlier, Sol. Yeah, it's brilliant. I like that. P40F20, hello. Adrian, hello. How are you? And then obviously Chris Davies, hello. Hopefully, yeah. So Chris, if you just as I say, Penny should have sent you a link. So all you need to do is just click on that link, and it should chuck us in with us. And if it
with those links is that sometimes they don't work.
Yeah, they're a bit. So if it's not working, as Penny said, we'll have to maybe try and get you on next week, perhaps, or
well, we'll try another day, because trouble is we've now got to the point where we're lining up guests, so it's kind of, we have a bit of a queue, don't we? But I promise you, Chris, we will get you on the show. I'm really keen to get you on the show because obviously you've got a slightly different perspective on things, and we can ask you the same questions as other builders, and we'd end up with completely different answers. So that's why I'm really keen to get you on. So don't think we're not trying to get you on.
Okay. And Terry Slater, hello. Okay, so I've done all the hellos.
Lovely.
Excuse me,
I'm
sorry.
actually
I've got
quite
bad cough.
excited about today, and a little bit apprehensive about next week. I know I'm jumping ahead there, but the reason I'm excited is I've had a look at the parts. I haven't opened them, but I've looked at the parts now. Um, I'm kind of I think we're going to end up doing more than I thought we were going to do. Um, and also, one of the problems we had, it's not as bad, but this floor is a bit loose. You see where the join is there? Obviously, we've now got a little bit there, which helps strengthen it, but it's on by like literally just a few screws.
Mm.
So I think this next wall is going to strengthen that a lot more, which is going to make me a lot happier. But I've got a feeling we're going to do more than I think we're going to do. But after we've done the build, let's have a good old speculate about next week, because I think it's a case of it could be bad and it could be good. But I'll explain more. Sol, yes, you sent me. I'm assuming me and you are talking about the same picture, Horlicks, when you mentioned Sol.
Yeah, he sent me a picture this afternoon.
Do you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. If you send me anything on Facebook while I'm at work, then it might get forgotten, especially if I'm running late. And yeah, this is the picture, which I thought was kind of cute. So, but I'm going to be at some point buying that C3PO, and I'm going to be doing what World of Wayne has done. I know it's blatant out and out copying. The only difference I'm going to do is I will pop in an Arduino, and I'm planning on putting some sound clips in. But I'm not going to be doing the iMods from Model Mods. Partly because I think I could do it myself if I wanted to. Anyway, sorry, right.
There's that picture, clearer one.
Ah, there we go.
But yeah, that's
Permanently. It's kind of cute, isn't it? I think that
I love it. It's
they are the
brilliant.
same scale, aren't they?
And
They are the same scale, aren't they?
oh, you're crackling up a bit.
I'll try that again. They are both the same scale, aren't they?
You looks like it, yeah.
I just want to make if I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but something I'd like to make people aware. Mr. Badley, who does the files for my R2D2, he's now started to do some parts for the D'Agostini R2D2. He's done some domes. What I'll do is I'll take some pictures at a later date and we'll show them off. And I think they're really worth looking at. Obviously, I've not built the D'Agostini R2, so I don't know how well they'll fit in, whether it'd be like a permanent change. But yeah, if anyone's interested, I mean, I could even print them off for people. So hey, I'm just checking on this print. I've got this print. I'm actually doing an Aurea screwdriver holder for Chris Davies, and it's I'm not having a good time with it. This is attempt 1. It worked, but when I took the support out, this bit split. This is attempt 2 that's slipped off the bed, and it started to warp there. And I'm doing attempt 3, and I don't know if it's going to work or not. So another reason to be frustrated, but we will find out in 4 hours, 5 minutes and 53 seconds.
I mean, if it keeps failing, I mean, it's not ideal, but just give us a shout and I'll print one off.
Yeah, well, I've resorted to tons of hairspray. So sorry, Chris, you won't get the shiny background. Right, anyway, look, it's 6:15. Do you want to start doing some building?
Yeah, let's go. Okay.
That is kind of the point of us being here, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we like a natter, don't we?
Yeah. So I feel totally chilled. I'll just fill you in. Horlicks said before the show, he says, if you're that wound up, do you want to cancel the show? And I said, no. I said, because I'll chill out once I start the show, and I know if I cancel the show, it'll probably wind me up even more, because I'll have more reason to hate everything. And yeah, I feel totally chilled out now. So yeah. Sorry,
Okay.
guys, we're all entitled to a bad day, aren't we?
Yeah, that's it.
So I'm going to raise a point. I'm sorry. I watched a video today of someone who'd lost his screw. Well, he didn't have the screws. Um, I always like to. Maybe I'm a little bit anal. Maybe this is the best way to do it. Maybe it's different. Whatever. But be careful when you open your packets. You notice I bring out the little drawers. And when I take the parts out, I like to carefully tip them into wherever, into something. Some of these parts are really small, and they're easy to lose. But also, if you are doing videos, if you can relax, sorry, I'm reading the comments as I'm talking, and Chris Campling's put chillax. But yeah, if you can video these, I'm not saying Hachette are like that, but if they turned around and said, "We don't believe you," you've then got it on video, haven't you?
Mm.
I have the advantage of doing a live build. So you see there, I carefully tip things out. Obviously, that's in a little box, so I'll keep that in the box. And yeah, now if I've got parts missing, which touch wood, I've never had parts missing. I think some people have had parts missing, haven't they?
Yes, I did. Just as I was singing their
That's right.
praises.
That's right. Yeah, but also, and I think this is just as important. This bag, which I think is now rubbish, I don't put that straight in the bin. What I'll do is I'll chuck it on the floor next to the bin. There's been a couple of times when I've lost parts, and I've looked in the bag, and there it is in the corner.
And it's funny actually because we're so alike because I do exactly the same. I
Yeah,
dump it on the floor next to me, and luckily I did because on one of my builds, it might have been the Routemasters a few weeks ago, I did that, and I was missing some screws or something, and
yeah,
it was actually still in that bag.
yeah. I mean, I even keep this little packet as well.
Mm. I mean,
That,
obviously we all do misplace things from time to time. You know, no one's
yeah,
perfect,
yeah.
but
I
it
mean,
is good to do that just in case.
it's very tempting to get very excited and it's really tempting. But right, so shall we do the parts check?
Yeah. Okay. So 50A should be the left rear side wall.
Okay, I think that's this piece, and because you've got the white at the top and you've got the arch, two windows, and a little black tape bit there or a little red bit there. So that I
Okay.
think is 58.
50B should be two seat fixtures.
Okay, and here they are. I can't believe they're not plastic again.
Yeah, they
So
do look very good, don't they?
they're all right, aren't they?
50C is the right rear sorry, right rear side wall.
Okay, and comparing the two, this looks like it could be it. We've only got the one window, and all this bit here is blacked out. So this looks like this is going to go on the side where the staircase is. Yeah, these are plastic, sorry. That's another point I want to raise. I've heard people say, and I think they've said it in the comments on here before, and it was something I didn't actually think of this morning. I've said before, if it doesn't need to be metal, why not plastic? If it's supporting, then obviously I'd like to see metal. Also, metal is a lot heavier than plastic. So if you made every single part in metal, this bus is going to weigh at least twice as much as it does now.
Mm.
So it's just going to get too heavy, isn't it? And then no one will have a shelf to fit it.
And another good point as well, and I mean I may be wrong. This is speculation, but These are just the inner skins, aren't they? This
Yes.
isn't the outside. The outside will be metal, which will probably be screwed into those plastic frames.
Yeah. If these are the outsides, it's going to be really ugly.
Yeah. So there will be metal around the outsides, but obviously, yeah, the interior will be this
Okay.
plastic, and that's good.
Chris Campling's just no. See, people don't. I tried to hide this last week, but I forgot to. I still haven't put that in, so I need to paint that brown in some description and pop it into the cab. Right. So
Okay.
how many DP screws have we got?
Right, so DP should have 7.
Okay, so that looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll put them in there,
Okay.
and we've got IPs.
IP, yep, 7 again.
Okay. So this is sounding quite interesting because normally we'll use 6 of these, won't we?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I've dropped a screw and I didn't see where it went. There it is. So we've got 12 screws, but 2 parts that we know are only going to require 1 screw, which is, sorry, 2 screws. And then we've got the walls. So there's going to be quite a lot of screws in relation to the number of parts that we've got. Right. Okie dokie. So would you like to take us through the first stage?
Yes, okay, so we are. What's going on a bit blurry? There we go. Let's zoom in a bit. So this is step 1, and my mouse is very sensitive today. Okay, so we need to fit 2 seat fixtures, 50B, to the inside of the rear left side wall, 50A, locating the pegs in the holes and then from the outside fix in place using 4 DP screws.
Right, I'm sorry, I've got to confess, I'm feeling the need to smoke an awful lot of ciggies today. So I just nipped and got my tin. But I have read the tin, I promise. Is that you clicking so you can have a cough?
Oh, do you know what? I've just got this cough. First it was a tickly cough, and now it's a dry cough, and it's just, oh, I just want it to go.
Okay, so my understanding is that these 2 parts are going to go into there. One in there. Whoops.
Yep,
That's
that's right.
upside down. That was actually accidentally put in upside down. Right, so they will go in like so, and then they will be attached with DP screws.
Yep.
Okie dokie. So that's something else I was working on. So that's
Oh, Penny, you've muted.
2, 3, 4. How's that?
There you go. Yeah.
Lovely. I seem to be catching the headphones on something. I've been doing that for days, haven't I?
Yeah. Yeah, you did it the other day when we were trying to have a Google.
Yeah. It's funny when you can see the other person's mouth moving, but you can't hear anything.
Thing is, I'm the same. I normally, my hands go up in the air or something, and I'll pull the plug out the box, and
Yeah.
then I'm like waving at you, going, "Shush, Penny, I can't hear you." So I don't want to waste your time explaining something to me, and I haven't heard a thing. And
So I've just noticed that there's 3 screw holes together there. So just watch which one you pop the screws in. It's the 2 screws with a little hole in the middle there. Okay, so you probably knew what I was going to do before I did it because I do it every single week. I've just put the 4 screws in just enough to grab. So now I'm confident that they're in. I'll just tighten those up. And because it's plastic, try not to over tighten. You just need it enough so it's not moving, and I'm confident there's no movement left on that. In fact, actually, there's not an awful lot of movement on this one. It's such a good fit, actually. And of course, I am worried because some of these have seemed very easy to strip the threads on them. There you go. So I'm really happy with that. That looks nice as well, doesn't it? Hello, are you on mute now?
Sorry, no, I'm so sorry. I'm just what I was reading the comments. That was all. So I'm a man, so I've only got one. I can only concentrate on one thing at a time.
Well, this is true. Are you
I'm so
do you cook the man way? You've only got two heats, off and full.
yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
that's it. Yeah.
No, it depends on well, I'm not feeling great as well. That's not helping. But no, I'm sorry. I was reading Steve Lee's comment. Um, he said he thinks we should have a duvet day where we just present the Routemasters in a totally chilled out way with hot chocolate drinks and stuff.
Well, I try to chill out with my coffee, and to be honest with you, just being on stream, it just and I mean those that watch my Twitch channel, they know the number of times I've come on and I've gone. I really wasn't in the mood to stream. I'm really wound up, but you know what? I'm really glad I've streamed. And no, I feel totally chilled out now.
Mm.
So, but I don't know if it's because I'm streaming or because I'm doing the Routemaster or a combination of the two. Chris is asking me about my tattoo, which I will come to later on. I promise I haven't forgotten. Do you want to have a look at stage number two?
Okay, yeah. So stage two. So we need to fit the rear left side wall 50A to the floor 42A and 43A. So that the screw sockets are aligned as indicated by the dotted lines. At the same time, ensure the pegs on the outer edges of the seats fit onto the cradle brackets. On the inside of the wall, 50A as indicated. When the wall is correctly in position, fix in place with 3 IP screws. So yeah, that's basically what we did last week, wasn't it? Line the wall up. So as Chris said earlier in the comments, it may be helpful to remove the seats again, perhaps, but you'll have to have a look and see
Yeah,
what access is like.
I was going to say that I would like to try it as per the magazine. We know removing the seats works. If we remove the seats and attach them to the wall, we know that works. So
Yeah,
I thought maybe if I try it exactly as per the magazine, because when we did it per magazine last week, we hadn't put the second wall on. We'd only put the first wall on. So I'd like to see how easier or harder it actually is to do it, the way I did it last week compared to this way. I also noticed one other thing. I don't know if you've noticed it as well. What screws are we using?
well, yeah. JP.
Right. We got no JPs this week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now we knew a while back we were given way too many JPs, didn't we?
But
And there is my JP screw collection.
is it definitely that, or is it a typo? And should it be IP?
Shall we check that it's not a typo? Right. So we have got. Could somebody do me a favour, either yourself, Horlicks, or one of the viewers, and we'll do a countdown of the screws, and I'll count them as well. So stage one, we've got DP times 4. Stage 2, we've got JP times 3. Stage 3, we've got DP times 2, so that brings a total up to 6.
6, yeah.
And then stage 4, we've got IP times 2, and then a third IP there. So that's 3. Oh, that's interesting. And I count that as all of them.
1 minute. There is another way we can double check, and that is looking at last week's issue
Okay.
because we did the same through the bottom, didn't we? So I'm assuming they're going to be the same screws.
Well, what I'm quite interested in here. Ah, do you know what? Yes, please check last week because they've asked if we go by the instructions, we've got 3 JPs and we've got 3 IPs, which makes six non-DP screws. And we should have 7 IP, and we've already said, oh, 7 IPs, so we'll be using 6 of them.
Right, yeah. So, oh my God, my screen's gone all up the spout. And right, here we go. This is the magazine, and this from last week, and it's showing IPs under the floor.
So last week we've attached the wall to the floor with IP screws, and this week they're telling us to attach the wall to the floor with JP screws.
Mm.
So as we've got 3 JPs and 3 IPs, can we therefore assume that they actually mean IP and not JP?
I think so.
Would we all be in consensus for that?
What is the actual difference,
I was
like
just about to say
physically?
I'll get a JP screw out. Oh God, there's such a difference. Oh no, there isn't. There isn't a massive difference. So physically, oh God, now I don't know which is which. Right. In my hand there is 2 JPs and an IP. The IP is actually bigger.
Ah, here we go. It says it clear as day anyway. Fit the rear. Sorry, it says when the wall is correctly positioned, fix it in place with 3 IP screws. But the actual picture shows it as JP.
Oh, it does say in the magazine.
And we said that, didn't we? We always said check the text, and we've
Yeah, and we haven't done that, have we? Okay, so guys, be aware. It says JP there, but it does say IP screws. Right. Okay. So yeah, not like Hachette to have typos, is it?
Okay, well that was good to check.
Yeah. Gehij. So I have to put a bit A. Do you know what? I was trying to figure out the order there, and could have just gone AC. Right. Okay. So time to get the floor out. So, like I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this the magazine way, and we'll see how much I struggle. I may not struggle at all. Do I get the screws ready? All right, so let's get 3 screws out. 2, 3. Something's made a funny noise. All right, so each week I get more and more confident of the strength of this if I lay it on the side. So I'm going to do that. Obviously, I'm not going to push really hard. So that should go in like so. Obviously, those bits are going on the inside. And that's quite nice because I didn't notice this before. But there's a little shaped bit there. So it goes in like a little jigsaw puzzle.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So, so the screws are going to go where my camera can't see it. So there's going to be one there, and one just behind the wheel there. So usual way, try not to kill your bus. And it's a really good fit, actually. Really happy with that fit.
Oh, brilliant. So I was going to answer Steve. Steve's just saying one of his inner skin walls on the offside seems a bit warped. Do you think this would be brought into line later? Personally, I would think so, because if we're going to put the outer skin on, that'll be probably screwed somehow. So I think that would straighten it up. But that is just speculation. If you're really
plastic has a certain amount of bend to it.
Yeah, but I would suggest if you're really not happy, perhaps see if you can get a replacement. Obviously, it depends how you've obtained it. If do you go through the news agents or you subscription? But I would say if it's not perfect, perhaps try and get a replacement. Personally, but if you didn't want to go down that route, I think it should be okay. Because it would be attached to other things, won't it?
Yeah. Right. I've just had a little bit of a struggle getting that screw in. What I've had to do is just push, hold it like that, and just pull the bottom bit down and the wall that way. So it's just, they're very slightly out of a line. But by doing that, it's just pulled it all in together.
Mm.
So I'm putting these 3 screws in just enough to bite. You may need to move the wall about a little bit. Maybe my wall has got a warp and I've just pulled it into shape. So then I will tighten these up. Again, I'm trying to go, once the tension kind of changes from easy to starting to get difficult, that's when I'm stopping. And I'm happy with that. There's a little bit out of a line there. Now, you brought the question up earlier on about these being inner skins. And is there going to be an outer skin? I think the answer is almost definitely yes, because you see here you've got some screw holes all over the place.
Oh yeah, Chris is shouting, "Don't tighten them."
Right, okay. Right, okay. So I haven't really tightened them. This wall doesn't seem to want to fit properly. Let me just see if I can manipulate it a little bit. There we go. So that's gone in. Okay. So I'll line the seats up. There we go. Happy with that. Okay, are we good there?
Hmm. Okay, so
Stage 3. I'm worried now.
oh, I'll be fine.
Okay, so while you explain that, I'm going to turn the seats around.
Okay, so
In a bit, but
inside the bus, check that the upper holes in the brackets on the sides of the last 2 left-hand forward-facing seats are aligned with the seat fixtures. 50B, fitted in step 1, fixed in place with 2 DP screws. The inset shows the rear bracket in place.
Hey, Pen, I'm online.
oh, hello, Chris.
Hello.
Scared the
Are you
crap out of me.
Horlicks?
Right.
What
Okay.
it was, right? You know, my MacBook.
Yeah.
I couldn't get on that way, so I used my laptop instead now.
Okay, no problems. I'm just waiting for my heart rate just to
Have I missed anything?
I was like, what's that?
Not really.
Well, nice to meet you. Nice to see you.
Yeah,
Okay. So this is Chris. So what we'll do is we'll carry on with the build, and then while we're building, you guys can all ask him questions.
There you go.
And, we'll have a little question and answer, a grill Chris session.
Carry on.
Oh, that scared me. I was looking down, and all of a sudden I can, hey, Pat, I got. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So sorry, you were saying Horlicks.
Yeah, no. So yeah, inside the bus, check that the upper holes in the brackets on the side of the last 2 left-handed forward-facing seats are aligned with the seat fixtures, 50B, fitted in step 1, and then fix them in place with 2 DP screws. Right. The inset shows the rear bracket in place.
Okay, now I'm having a little bit of a struggle with this wall here. It seems to just keep wanting to pop out. I'm going to carry on with the seats because that may pull it all in a little bit once it's attached to those 2 seats. So I'm going to have to shunt this screwdriver. I think we know that, don't we? And I'm going to have to come in through the wall. So
talk about screwing again, away you are.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to work, but because what we did last time, I see now why Chris Campbelling has said don't tighten the screws in. Because I've said I may have to take the wall off and take the seats out. Oh, I can hear my favourite doggy. This is actually really difficult because you've got to get those screws lined in.
That was a bit hard over there.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Actually, it's not awful to do. It's a little bit. I don't know if you can see the way I'm holding the screwdriver. I haven't got a really good grip on it. so it's not as secure,
Yeah.
but it's working.
Yeah, because my one's bare, isn't it?
Right, there we go. And that's actually pulled that wall in a little bit. So that's a little bit better. It's still got a bit of a bend in it, but yeah, that's okay. So, but
My one's not, isn't it?
this one's going to be the good one because I've got to get in between two seats.
Oh yeah, you got a yellow one.
Yeah. As you can see, I've seen it on Amazon.
Oh, hang on. This one you don't need to go through the windows. It's probably easier to come behind the window.
Yeah.
Right.
And what would it make? I'm wondering if it's worth trying the original Routemasters screwdriver to see how that fares up. In such
Do you know what? If I could find it, I would use.
Okay.
I've had a big tidy up on Sunday, well, last week, and most things I can't seem to find anymore. Right, there we go. No, that's fine. That's done it. It might actually be easier with the originals one because you can get in closer. I am concerned about that wall. I don't know if you can see the big, massive gap there. We've still got half the magazine to build.
Is the floor getting more solid now, the back?
Yes, it is a little bit more solid.
Yeah, because it was a bit flimsy now.
Yeah, but I'm not worried about that because once we screw it down there to the chassis, that will hold it.
Yeah, a bit like a rocket, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so are we happy with those seats?
Yeah, they look good.
I've given them a wiggle and they seem to be in the little tabs properly. All of the seats are solid. So they're nice.
Like a jelly, wobble like a jelly.
No jellies here, Chris.
Steve. Yeah, so Steve, I was just wondering that wall that doesn't line up there, Penny.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, Steve, is that what you were? Is that what you've got when you said you had a slight warp? Because I'm wondering if that's just how it is.
I did say, good to see you too.
I'm not overly worried at this point because that actually I've just manipulated.
I'm using my phone as well as the chat as well, so I can see it.
Right, you've got a locating peg there, so something's obviously going to go there and line it up. You've got some holes there, then don't look like screw holes, but you've got a screw hole either side of the gap there. So whatever's going to go in there, that's obviously, and also we've got some screw holes there. So
yeah,
you got these 4 screws into whatever's going on this side. I'm pretty sure that will pull it all in. You know,
yeah, there must be a fixing.
Yeah,
probably there with the wall in there.
I am right. I have faith in this because quite often we've been concerned. But you see there, it's almost like it's too close there. And as it gets further up, the gap gets bigger and bigger. So maybe I've screwed them in wrong. Maybe, I don't know. So I don't know whether to be concerned or not. As I say, I've been concerned before.
Yeah.
It's all unfounded.
I think, to be fair, we need to give it a couple more issues just to see where it goes.
But if it goes wrong, I've got this on film now, haven't I? There you go. Look. I don't know if you can see that.
That's for the upper deck,
that will pull together, look. Let me bring the camera in closer. So you see there's a big, massive gap, can't you? But if I push it, that gap completely disappears. So when we attach whatever's going on this outer skin, I may just have to be wary that I may have to pull it together and then attach the screws. Yeah, I'm confident now. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
So I just bear with me 1 sec. Sorry, I'm just doing 15 things at once now.
Multitasking, you?
Yeah.
There
we go. Right. So what's the next stage on the board, Miss Ford?
Okay, so step 4, we need to take the rear right side wall, 50C, insert the 2 recesses on the edge of the piece beneath the tabs on the edge of the right side wall, 49B, as indicated by the light blue curved dotted lines.
Do you know, I didn't see that coming.
Okay,
Right.
and then at the same time, ensure the screw socket on the lower edge of 50C is aligned with the screw socket in the floor, 43A, as indicated by the light blue straight dotted line, and then fix all 3 points with IP screws. The inset below shows the parts in place.
Lovely. Right.
So I can imagine that being like a hinge system. So tuck it in and then down, like closing the door.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So the way I'm seeing this, oh, trust me to get a notification right over my little control panel. Right. So the way I'm seeing it, let me move my light up. That's better, isn't it? We can actually see now. So we've got 2 tabs here, and then you've got 2 little recesses there. They're gonna slide in like, I wanted to say, there we go. So they've slid in like that, and then it's a combination of pushing this down and pulling. Yeah, you can see it all. It's struggling to fit because this floor is pulling it down as well. So I would suggest we put both of these IPs in first and then worry about the IP there.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would do.
Right. So I'll do the middle one. Well, I'm going to call this the middle. Of the 3, it'll be the middle. So that's in just enough to bite. In fact, I'm going to do it just a little bit more because there might be a little bit of pressure there. And then we'll do the second one. So I'm actually going to have to pull these together to do this. It's not naturally falling into place. So this bit's a bit like a sort of a jigsaw puzzle, isn't it? Right. So would you tighten these 2 and then work on this one, or would you now work on this one and then come back to them?
I would leave them loose and then work on the back because you don't want to make it too brittle.
Right. To give them a little bit more room to
breathe. Give a bit more give.
Right. So this one might need a little bit of manipulation. You probably could. Whoa! Oh, actually, it's now safe to put upside down. There we go. So I've got that. I can see the hole straight through. So I'll gently turn that in case I've got it out of alignment. And that's grabbed. I'm happy with that. Right, so I'll go back to these screws. I'm just going to move the camera slightly because it's actually getting in the way of my screwdriver. This is the hardest thing about doing streaming is you want to position the camera so that everyone can see what you're doing. But at the same time, you want to give yourself enough room to do what you want them to see.
Yeah. So, that's what I struggle with.
Yeah.
All the time, especially when especially when my models get bigger. So soon there'll be a time when I probably won't even be able to get the bus on the desk.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. But at least now you've got your base, you will have an idea of how big it is, won't you? Okay, that's nice because as I turned that, it's kind of pulled the wall down and the floor up. There we go. So that was probably a hell of a lot easier than we just made that out. But now we've got, oh, see that looks worrying. There. But like I say, it will all pull together.
Yeah, so Dave Say just said, don't worry about that side.
Yeah.
It will soon be okay when we get later issues. And I agree, because we're going to have to put some more bits, and then we're going to have to screw it to the obviously outer wall.
Yeah.
And that'll straighten that up as well. So yeah, I think it'll be fine.
So that makes me very happy, because we've now got this bit coming in where the stairs are going to be. I'd originally thought, when I saw last week, when I saw the next week, I thought this bit was just going to come to there, just to finish the seats.
Mm.
So it's kind of, but you can see, but I like the idea of having this wall split there and there, because it's like the Lego principle. If you build all your Lego blocks up so there's a line in the middle, you create a weak spot in the middle. Because you've got the weak spot there and there, I'm trying to get it all in. Because they're uneven places, yeah, you've got the support from this side, which is helping there, and the support from there helping this. So it's going to make it a lot stronger. And you haven't got you've got the floor is split there, the wall is split there, and the wall is split there. So that's going to be a lot stronger. Not that it needs to be, because this is all going to be bolted down to the chassis. I've just lost my chat.
Jonathan Hayes was just asked whether you'll be putting internal lighting in it. Unless I'm wrong, we've got that coming anyway, haven't we?
We've got internal lighting coming.
Yeah, I thought
now,
so. It doesn't make it that clear, but I think there is some sort of lighting.
No, I believe that when I saw the original pictures, it wasn't a very bright internal light. However, that is actually realistic. Dave Say, help me out here. The internal lighting isn't actually that bright, is it? Because you got to remember, it's a bulb from the 60s that's put in the corner, and they're not overly bright, but they're bright enough.
Yeah.
Even our more modern buses, they're not that bright. So
I suppose it's because it dazzle the driver as well, isn't it?
Not so much. It was just really the technology. Modern buses now have got LED strips and stuff, and all this fluorescent tubing, because it's got better and it's got cheaper. So you can put more lighting in, and you've got these big massive panels. But back in the 60s, you had light bulbs. That was all you really had. But no, I won't be putting additional lighting in. I think that would make it unrealistic. You know, you wouldn't put a turbocharger on a Morris Minor, would you? So that's just the way I see it. So this is the finished view, which I'm happy to say mine looks like.
Yeah.
So are we all happy
good.
with that? Yeah. So Dave said no, they're not that bright. So I think if we can get some dim lighting, that would actually be full credit to whoever's made this, because we know they're going to give us LEDs, which are very bright. So you're getting a very bright bulb in order to make a not very bright bulb, which obviously they'll just reduce the voltage, won't they?
Yeah, resistor.
Yeah. So the original ad says internal and external lighting, i.e. headlights, brake lights, and the engine sound and bell sound. So, yeah. So, yeah, I'm really, really happy. So should we crack on and have a little look at next week's build?
Yeah.
And then what I can do is I can turn the camera to my ugly mush. Ta-da! Right, so next week, again, sorry, I forgot to say at the beginning of the show, big shout out to Adrian Langley, who does the scans for us. It's an absolute brilliant help. Right, so the wording says...
I did skip past that.
No, that's okay. We're just, while the picture's on, I'll describe the words. Right, so the route indicator box is assembled and fitted beneath the canopy. So what do you think of this?
And
this is a trick question, by the way.
I think it's going to be a very quick issue.
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking. Am I still here? Sorry, by the way, I'm stretching over. Oh God! Sorry, I was reaching over to my shelf, and I was kind of doing it blindly, and I could just feel the Routemaster mug moving, and it's about 4 foot off the ground, so it's not going to survive a drop. So yeah, it's just why I panicked. Right, this is the way I see it. The only part we're going to be building is the little part here, which is that if that's all it is, that could make a lot of people very disappointed. I know we've got the argument, oh, it's all in the total build. However, Hachette have been a bit sneaky in the past, haven't they? I wonder, they don't always show us everything that we're getting. Sometimes they just show us, how many times have they shown us one little bit and we're looking at it and we're going, oh, that's going to be disappointing. And then there's been loads of other parts as well. And secondly, what if issue 52 is going to be a big build, so big that they actually have to give us some of the parts in issue 51, which they've done before?
Yeah, that's possible.
So let's give us now there was a theory that it might be a technical build, and Steve Lee said it though. I think the numbers are meant to revolve, but I wonder if the way they'll do that is just have a little roll that'll just go up and down. So speculate away, everybody.
Yeah, I was thinking actually after I said it, I was thinking of what Steve said. I thought it was supposed to be changeable, but will the number be changeable? Will it still have? I don't know.
That's a really good point.
Maybe the number will stay the same, but the routes, the places would change. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because every route has two destinations, the one end and then the other end. So once you start at A and you go to B, and then once you get to B, you go back to A. So yeah, it could have A and B, for example. I do like surprises, Paul, but I also like to play the guessing game as well, so we can see if I was right or wrong. Sometimes I've got things right, sometimes I've got things wrong, and it's all part of. Oh, Steve, remember we need more passengers as well for the lower deck. Please, not soon. No, I don't want them all soon. Although saying that, if we get them all soon, they're done then and they're out of the way.
See, this is where we had this disagreement, because I actually really quite. I think it's a really nice touch, because I didn't even know we were getting them.
It is a nice touch, but this is going to be one of those ongoing things, isn't it? We could talk about this every single week.
Yeah, I think. Do you know what? As well, as you quite rightly said, because I get subscription, I'll have 3 parts of the build to do. Plus, I'll have the figurine. Whereas you have to go down every week, and then if you just go down and pick up a figurine, there's nothing to do. I can see how that can be a bit like, oh no.
Yeah. Oh, for me, it's just that word there, build, and I don't see a resin man as a build. That's just me, I'm entitled to my opinion. It doesn't have to be the same as everybody else. Oh, that's a really good point. Paul has said maybe we get the window, so we could be getting 2 windows as well.
Yeah, good.
That's a really good point.
Good speculation there.
I like that one. Yeah.
Johnson Hazel, I've got it up for you. In issue 50, you get 7 DP screws and 7 IP screws. Although go by the text in step 2, because the image shows JP, but you need to use IP.
Yeah.
So it seems to me, I don't think with this build so far that we've actually had to go back and use screws out the pot. If I'm right,
we had the JP screw. Oh no, we only had those little clips, didn't we? The wire clips.
So I think they do actually supply screws for every build. Well, it seems that way.
So if we threw all of the screws away at the end of every build, we would probably get away with that, do you think?
Possibly, but I wouldn't like to say for sure.
Yeah. I mean, obviously keep them. And if you don't use them on the build, you know, you might one day find, oh, I need that on that.
Yeah. Do you know what I'll tell you what they're really, really good for when you're doing little 3D print projects, because they're the plastic screws. They're small enough to secure things together and they grip really well.
Yeah.
So I've started using some of the old R2 ones for some 3D print bits and.
Yeah, which I might be getting some of soon. just before the show, just at the point I was almost going to go, what's the name, Mount Suvius, I then get a notification. The Agostini have taken $35.96 from your PayPal account. And I worked out it's for the R2D2 that I cancelled. Because I got issue 1, but decided I'm not going to go through with it, at least yet. So they've charged me for pack 2. So yeah, I'm more money taken out of my account. So yeah, I think I almost went. So we have a guest who has been very, very patiently sitting there with us. Probably thinks we've completely forgotten all about him.
Mm-hmm.
So we will turn our attentions to Chris Davies. How are you, Chris?
Yeah, good, you?
Yeah, I'm very good.
I apologise for the earlier anyway, because I've seen your message.
No, it's fine, Chris. It's fine. Obviously, you're getting on the show, and you know I'd be excited if I came on.
Yeah, no worries.
Well, I'll just change the camera view so that it goes automatically over to whoever's talking. So, Chris, tell us all about yourself first of all, and then hopefully by then people will throw some questions at you.
I've got a bit of a disability myself, and I do find some parts a bit difficult. So last hope I met Penny, and she's been helping me out a lot with everything.
And it's been an absolute pleasure too.
Yeah, exactly. And I appreciate that as well. And I enjoying the builds. Horlicks' builds are good as well. They're all good.
Yeah.
And I follow everyone on YouTube.
To be honest with you, I mean, I think you need to talk yourself up. Because I've seen you building. I don't know if I've mentioned it before to people.
Yeah.
But obviously you have a little bit of a problem with your vision.
Yeah,
obviously your first thing you're going to be saying is, oh my God, well, if you can't see properly, how can you build it?
Yeah.
And when I first saw you, I thought, oh, he's going to, and I'm guilty of this. This is probably the wrong attitude. I thought, oh, he's going to really struggle. And I remember what I was trying to do was tell you what to do, get the bit ready for you, and then let you get on with it.
Yeah.
And it's been a couple of times when I've left you thinking, oh, it'll be about 10, 15 minutes. And then I've come back 5 minutes later and I'm like, oh my God, he's done it.
Yeah.
To a good standard.
You're just inspirational, I know.
Well, thank you. But, you know, to be honest with you, Chris, you're actually an inspiration to me as well. You know, I can do this and I've got no reason to not be able to. But obviously, I see people out there and you see granddads working on it with their grandsons and, you know, people with disabilities, people learning difficulties. It's a great build for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's brilliant because you meet all sorts of people and, you know, anyone can do it really.
Yeah.
You know, and if it takes someone a week to do one issue, so what?
Yeah.
It's part of the fun, isn't it? You just do it. Everyone does it in their own pace, and so I'm going to ask you my favourite 2 questions, Chris. What was your favourite part of the build? What's the part that you really loved the most?
I loved issue 1.
Yep.
Issue 15.
Issue 15. Remind us.
You know the back suspension bar?
Oh yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I done that. The stairs I enjoyed doing.
Yeah.
The parts I found a bit difficult was 12, 13, and 14. You know the back.
Oh, they were the
the suspension, the arms and stuff, and
the suspension arms. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a bit hard. I found out the engine was a bit hard for me because there's some small fiddly bits.
Yeah. So.
Wow, what a memory! I can't even remember what was in the last issue.
I
Most of this is I enjoyed mostly, and they've been good. It's just some bits. I have asked you to help me, didn't I, Pen?
Yeah, I mean, I know you struggled a little bit with the engine, and
yeah, that was a bit hard. Yeah,
I struggled with the engine. I mean, I love the engine because once you've completed it, you can look back at it and go, "Wow, I did that." And it's sometimes you've got to employ a few little tricks that Hachette haven't told you about.
Yeah.
So
What's been your least favourite and your most favourite then?
My favourite has probably been the engine.
Yeah.
And I might even, I'm still tempted to go out and buy the engine again, just to get some back, just so I've got a spare engine, just for the sheer hell of doing it.
Yeah. I suppose you could display one on the outside as well.
Sorry, Johnson Hazel's asking about the screws for this issue. Let me just go over to my camera. And I'll just switch it over to.
Oh, sorry, I did say that.
Yeah, he may have just missed it.
Well, yeah, I think missed it. We've got. I had it up.
I've got it up here, Horlicks. So we've got 7 DP screws and 7 IP screws, and we've got 7, but we only need 6 of them. And at stage 2. Is telling us to use JP screws, but it actually means to use IP. But if you look at the text is accurate. So if you can't see that.
Yeah, we had a misprint in one of the issues before, didn't we?
We've had a few misprints. So it's why it's a good idea to just read the instructions. Maybe read the instructions twice. You know, it doesn't hurt.
Do you want to see a bit of my bus or what, since I've done a bit more?
Say that again, sorry, Chris.
Do you want to see more of I'm sorry, done a bit.
Always happy to see. If anybody says, "Would you like to see?" the answer's always going to be yes, please.
I'll give it 2 minutes, and I got it. I was in the living room.
Okay, so Steve Lee's saying that you're inspirational. Love to hear stories like that. But yeah, no, this is one of the things I love about the build is that anybody can do it. Even Horlicks, can't you?
Yeah.
No,
what?
I say this before, and I do love your builds, Horlicks, because you're always constantly checking. Right, so let's have a look at Chris. Yeah, so you've now got your Aurea screwdriver, haven't you?
Yeah, what's that?
We've got to do the advert for the Aurea. How are you finding it?
It's brilliant. Because you know the grab handle on the driver's cab when you climb in?
Yes.
Right? That was a bit loose, so I used the Aurea screwdriver and tightened it.
Yeah. Because when I went to see you last week, you had a lot of your screws, they were in, but they weren't really tight, were they?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because of vision or some other reason. I took my Aurea screwdriver with me, and I think that's probably what inspired you to get the Aurea, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And as you see for the mobile phone case, I mean, obviously everybody does have a negative about them, but Chris is actually a Swansea City fan.
Yeah, because I'm Villa.
So
I've won that recently.
But I'm not going to argue with that because you do live near Swansea, don't you?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Welsh, yeah.
Well, exactly. Someone's got to, haven't they?
So you find what's your favourite building now, Horlicks, so far?
I was thinking about this earlier. I think it sounds a bit weird. My favourite parts were obviously building the engine, but my favourite part was actually fitting the engine into the chassis.
That's good,
and putting the 4 wheel arches on, because it's made it pop. It's all complete, and it's starting to look a bit like a bus. I like the issues where you're putting all the bits together as one piece.
That's good, yeah.
So a lot of people may find them a bit boring, but I really enjoy putting those wheel arches on because that's just finished it off nicely. What with the black and the silver.
Yeah, I do like it when you put together two completely different colours, like this fire extinguisher. It just, to me, it pops. Chris, Dave Say asks, are you still thinking about painting your bus?
I am thinking about it, but I don't know if I will because it might be a bit hard for me to do.
Yeah, I think, to be honest with you, I think the painting is going to be it's not going to be easy painting it, but I think the actual putting the paint on is going to be the easy bit.
Yeah, just stripping it down, innit?
It's stripping it down first of all, but you've also got to get the decals to put on it. Otherwise, you're just going to end up with a plain. But I mean, I loved your idea. It was a yellow bus you were going to have, weren't you?
Perhaps next time you come down, maybe we can go through the painting and stuff if you want.
Yeah. What I might do then is I'm getting ready to strip my bits.
Yeah.
So if perhaps I brought them down and we strip them around yours,
yeah,
then you'll be able to see what's actually involved in it.
That'd be good. Yeah. So I can have a little taste of it.
Yeah, and then you can sort of say, well, actually, I enjoy this. I want to do it, or actually, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it.
Yeah. That's fair enough, isn't it?
Now I know I mean, like the screwdriver holder you've asked me to do. You've asked yellow.
Yeah.
Is that because that's your favourite colour, or because that's an easier colour for you to deal with?
No, I love the yellow. Yellow's my favourite colour. Like blue is nice as well.
It's just I've not come across many people who love yellow as their favourite. I mean, some people must like it, but
I like it as a kid.
Mine's yellow.
Yeah.
Is it really? I thought you had yellow because you just had loads of yellow filament.
Well, yeah, that is the reason why, but it's yellow.
Yeah, but well, actually, that's a really good color because yellow and blue are opposite on the color wheel, so they go really well together.
Yeah.
But look, I'll just give you a quick look at the screwdriver holder on the printer, and
what's still going now?
Hang on, sorry, I've got my wires crossed up here. It is fair to say it is yellow.
Yeah.
That's definitely yellow, isn't it? I actually thought I'd ordered sulfur yellow, but it turns out it's yellow. Pardon?
So how many hours is that going to take to make?
Oh, it's about another 4 hours, but I've actually had two failed prints.
Yeah, because it's you know the link you sent me the other day of it, the printing.
Oh, do you know what? I'll tell you a really sad story, shall I?
Well.
Just you know this story, Horlicks. I was ages ago. I was working on a sword called Longclaw, which is Jon Snow's sword in Game of Thrones, and because of other projects, I put it on hold. And then someone at work said to me, "Oh, well, I'll pay you to finish it." So this is the majority. It's masking tape together at the moment, and it's going to be glued. But this is the main bit of the sword. This is about 4 foot long. So if you're a Game of Thrones fan, you'll see this.
Oh, that's massive.
But the pommel is really highly detailed. Yeah. So I printed the pommel off in the absolute best quality I can on my printer. And it's a 48-hour print. There's the bottom of it. Now, I was tidying up. Let me put some light on. If I can find my light, there we go. So I don't know if you can see that too well.
Yeah, that's quite clear.
Now, about 3 hours left to go. I was doing some tidying up, and I pulled a socket out of the wall, forgetting that that's the socket that my printer was connected to. So the print stopped. So that's 45 hours into a 48-hour print. So I was really annoyed, and I've not been able to get my. As you can see, this print I did this on a really low quality, and I actually split it as I was getting the support material out, and then I printed this one, and it warped, and then came loose from the bed. So hopefully this one is going to come out fine. And then I'm going to start this one off. So that's going to occupy pretty much 2 days on the printer. But I'm so annoyed because look at the fit. The fit is absolutely perfect. Look, you can't see the join.
What are you going to do? Glue it, you?
It will get glued on. There's a little connector there, but it's in so tight I can't actually get it out. But it's absolutely amazing. I love this. It's just absolutely awesome. Once it's glued, I'm going to glue it with epoxy. I've used the epoxy now, and it's £1 from Poundland.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely brilliant. But
yeah, I've seen that. Well, I haven't bought it yet, but
yeah, the only drawback is that because it's quite slow to set, I'm going to have to glue 2 bits together, and then the next day glue 2 new bits together, then 2 bits the day after, and then 2 bits, and then stick 1 bit on. So it's going to take about 8 days to print.
That's like a javelin, isn't it?
Oh, it's really amazing. And then I know the paints I'm going to use, and we all know the results we're going to get from the paints. So yeah, it's looking really good. But I've had to print the blades on the side because we're doing them upright. The print kept moving.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. So, so does that mug look? So yeah.
Oh, you know the link you sent me the other day for the
Love Minis had said, "Pay with penny, label that plug so you will not do it again." I will do. I should label all my plugs actually. But no, I mean, you see, I think you especially, Horlicks, when I said I was going to be tidying my room, you didn't really believe I was going to get it done, did you?
Oh no, absolutely not.
And
I'm just being honest because
it's not finished, but you can see that a lot has been done.
Yeah. No, because before you said you were going to have a mad tidy up and organised, and then I'll message you like 2 days later and say, "Oh, how did it go?" And then you send me a picture.
Yeah.
Really well, and nothing's changed.
Yeah. So my camera's on the her, so everything looks like it's at an angle. But yeah,
it's a bit different because if I'm at work and I have a brainwave about right, my desk needs to go there, and I'm going to put that there, I can't wait to get in the door. And then I rip everything apart and do it, and I finish that night. I have to because I can't go to bed.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, one of the plans that I had. Sorry, this camera is because it's not level. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I'm happy with that. My 2 biggest faults is that I do hate tidying. I have no problems admitting that. And my second fault, I'm trying to just get a decent light. Now, see if this light is too strong. My second fault is that I can always find something more interesting to do. So it's like, right, I'm going to tidy my room. So I'm in there for 5 minutes. Then I'm like, right, we'll just have a little look at the sword. Okay, right, must get on with tidying. Oh, I found some magazines. I will just have a little look through those. And admittedly, that's what I'm like when I'm tidying. But I got to the point where, also I could see what I had to do, but I wanted to move the bed. But to move the bed, I had to move something else. But then I needed that somewhere, and I had no space. And then the guy that's just moved into the next room, he gave me a hand. So what we did is some of the shelves we took off, like the fragile, like the shelves there. We took off like the fragile stuff, and then we very carefully picked up the shelf and then moved it. And then that's created all this room in the middle, which we could, I mean, Sunday, you could not move through here because it was piled up. It looked like a big jumble sale. I have had a coffee, Paul. I've actually finished it. I mustn't show you this mug because Horlicks goes mental.
Yeah, I've got one myself.
Yeah. Do you use yours, Chris? Your big one?
Again, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. It's
only thing I've done is lost the lid.
It's I've actually I might have my lid. I think that's not it.
It's a black lid.
Yeah.
Well, I can help there because I've got a spare lid.
Yeah.
Because I got originally delivered one and it was all smashed to bits. So I ended up keeping the lids and the band. And then I ordered, I wrote to them and got another one, and then they ended up sending me two. So yeah, if you can't find your lid and you need one, I've got one.
Hey, Horlicks, message me on Facebook if you want.
Yeah, we'll do.
Yeah,
Chris,
no, I've added you as well.
Pardon?
I've added you on Facebook as well.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm useless. I don't often go on Facebook. I only normally use Messenger.
Yeah, because I didn't realise your name was different, was it?
Okay, I'll have a look.
So, can I ask you a question, Horlicks? How did your name come about Horlicks then? Because that's the name I never used before. Is that a nickname or something?
Yeah, it's a nickname. Yeah, my real name's Alex.
Yeah. Well, so how's the nickname?
Sorry. I just read this joke, which I'm not going to repeat, but someone just sent me a joke and it was just really funny. So if you get a joke that says about warning you of 4 keys that can open 88% of cars and 99% of houses, that's that joke.
Yeah.
So, oh, I'm sorry, I've completely killed the stream now, haven't I?
Right, how about jokes?
So anyway, so some woman said to me today, she said, "What do you do in your spare time?" I said, "I kill aliens." She said, "Don't be so stupid. There's no such thing as aliens." I went, "Thank you very much." Horlicks is shaking his head at that one.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Brilliant when I heard it. So, right, yeah, Chris has asked me, could I not print the rest of the pommel off and then glue it? I did consider that. I thought if I split print, so I'm just trying to get it. If I split the print about there and glue it on, but I'm probably going to have to add some support to make sure it stays there, and it's got to be absolutely dead level, otherwise it's going to go off at an angle. It's probably going to be best. Oh, hang on, I can do the show off thing. Shiny bottom. Shiny bottom. Sorry. Hang on.
Yeah, it was good while it lasted, eh, Penny?
It was wonderful while it lasted. But now I've had to put hairspray down, and now I have no more shiny bottoms. That joke was grim, Paul says. I just thought it was funny. Thank you. So I have a story for you. It's another karma. Karma seems to work in my favor. Does anybody have kids of school age? Because there's one thing I really don't get is as bad as it makes out to be. But anyway, so Monday I'm doing this school bus and kids are playing music on the bus. Now, I don't really have a problem with them playing the music on the bus, even though they're not meant to. But I don't really want to hear it. So I'll tell them to turn it down. So I asked these kids to turn the music down, which they did. Later on, it went up again. So I asked them to turn it down. Eventually, it went down. And then it went up again later on. So I asked them, and they were absolutely refusing. But 8 times I asked them. And eventually one of them told me to go fuck myself, which I personally think has gone over the line. So, as luck would have it, I had the exact same school bus in the morning. So I identified who the kid was. So when he got on the bus, he's got a school pass. So I took a school pass off and I said, you can have it back when you get to school. So when we got to the school, I saw the teacher, because this teacher walks around the school and checks people have got the right uniform on and all sorts of things. And occasionally asks the bus drivers, is everything okay? So I explained to him the story and he says, oh, did you identify who it was? I went, yeah, I've got his pass, but could you make sure he gets it back? When I saw him in the afternoon, he's got internal exclusion, which apparently means that he now sits in a classroom in a little cubicle, not talking to anybody until Easter. So but the teachers have always said any problems come to us and we'll deal with it. And but quite often I'm in a position where it'll get sorted out the very next day. So I thought that was brilliant, you know. But the school does offer us a lot of support, and I think that the bus company are keen, because it's a really big contract actually to run all those schools. About 13 school buses, so it's 26 runs a day. So there's a lot of work. We do struggle sometimes, but then I suppose everybody would, wouldn't they?
What do they do? Come on with big ghetto blasters and stuff?
No, they've got these Bluetooth speakers that connect to
Oh,
the
yeah.
phone.
Oh, right, yeah.
But apparently the schools are having big problems because they're Bluetooth. The speakers don't need to be near the phones.
Yeah,
So
10 meters, yeah.
yeah. So when the teachers aren't looking, they're playing the music, and then the teachers sort of come in and they hit the pause button or whatever. But the person who's got the speaker isn't necessarily the person who's playing the music.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't get it. I've fallen behind with technology so much now. I don't really get it. But
I go there myself, speakers like.
yeah.
Yeah, I use one at work sometimes.
Yeah.
If in the warehouse, if we've got to do stock take or something and it's up in a dark, dingy corner, I'll take my Bluetooth speaker with me and have a party.
Yes, you have taken a video of that before, haven't you?
Yeah, but that's the main hi-fi. That's loud. The Bluetooth speaker isn't that loud.
Right. It's just enough for the supervisor to not really worry about too much.
Mm.
Bless. Okay, so has anyone got any questions on anything?
Yeah, right. So Steve Lee's asked me about R2D2. Do I think it'll be repeated at some point? I don't actually know. I mean, I am fairly new to partworks myself, so I don't know if they do repeat them. But I know you can now buy R2D2 as in pack form. I think.
Yeah.
In on the D'Agostini website.
I would be tempted to say that it won't be repeated because you can get at it via the Model Space website.
Yeah.
Because they've got some old builds on there. I mean, that's how I'm doing the Millennium Falcon. That's a really old build, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think whether it'll be repeated again, I don't know, in 2, 3, 4, 5 years' time, I don't know, but I doubt it.
Yeah, but oh yeah, sorry, Chris asked about my tattoo. This is actually quite an old tattoo. I'll get the I'll change the view. It's funny how much interest this tattoo generates, isn't it? So my tattoo, it's semicolon. Let me turn that back. Is that the right way around? No, it's the way around, wasn't it? My monitor is reversed, so I can't see if it's the right way around or not. Anyway, so basically it says my story. It's the semicolon. It's awareness for depression. I have suffered from depression in the past, and it's just a reminder. The story goes that the semicolon is when the author could stop there, but decides not to, and then they carry on, which I think is really appropriate for. There we go. Is that the right way around?
Yeah, that's it.
Right. So I think that's really appropriate. So to use that is just, I'll tell you what it is. It's because I've got it outwards so other people can see. So yeah, it's just to remind me, and it's it's just a way. Sometimes I can look at that and it just sort of picks me up a little bit. It just says my story isn't finished, and that's kind of a double meaning. One meaning that I'm still going. My pages haven't been written yet, not all of them, but also it's a little bit reference to more my granddad than anything else. I lost my granddad in 1990, and he was such a great man that we're still talking about him today. And I think that just because someone dies, their story doesn't finish there. You know, their story continues for as long as people are remembering them. And my granddad, he's a funny one. He's got all these awful, awful things that he did, but you look back at them laughing. Like the most famous story I've got of him is once I'm standing there, my nan's telling me off, and my granddad is behind my nan in his armchair facing me, reading the paper. And as my nan's telling me off, he's reading this paper like this, and then pulling funny faces at me and making me laugh. So I'm laughing while my granddad's pulling faces and my nan's telling me off, which is winding my nan up even more because I'm just laughing at, well, she thinks I'm laughing at her. And she's like, oh, and I'm like, it's granddad, he's pulling faces at me. And he's like, what? Just reading the paper like this. And that's the stories that you remember him by, where he was a bit of an arsehole, but now you look back and it's funny. And I got a few cloutes because of him pulling his little jokes like that. But he told me a great one about when my mum was young and she was upstairs, playing upstairs with one of her friends in the bedroom. And he got a cabbage and he put a broomstick on it and he drew a face on the cabbage and he got a torch and he pushed it up to the window and he's tapping against the window. And my mum, she sees this cabbage face, and apparently she's never screamed so loud. So, but that's what I mean. His story hasn't finished because I've not stopped remembering him. And the same with my mum. I think of my mum just about every day.
So what caused you depression then, Pen?
Pardon?
What caused you to have depression then?
I just think things got me down and I didn't really know how to deal with things, and I wasn't really prepared.
Awful, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't. I mean, I lived at home till I was 25, and I think looking back now, I took that for granted. I could come home at 9 o'clock at night, take my clothes off, go to bed, get up at 6, 7 in the morning, and my clothes are washed, dried, and ironed, waiting for me, the same clothes I wore before. And I think without realizing it, you kind of, without thinking, you just think things just happen, and you don't really too much work goes into it. And then I lost my mum suddenly. The house got repossessed. I got my own little flat, and I really wasn't ready for life. And I got in so much trouble because you go out to work and you've got all this money, and now suddenly you've got to pay bills and you've got to pay rent. And, you know, all I ever had to do was put petrol in the car, pay my mum a little bit of board money, and the rest was mine. And suddenly, that story reminds me of your video of it. Oh, what the early April Fool's joke, love minis. And also I've just, some of the situations I've been in, you know, my more recent background, and I don't know if this is relatable to anyone, but why can't people just leave me alone and get on with my life? You know, what the way my mind works, it doesn't affect you. So why do you get involved so much? Why does everyone have to make a big deal of things? You know,
got people like that, don't you?
Yeah.
Overprotective. Can't do your thing.
Oh, it's people that,
yeah,
it's down to malice, really. And I've gone into a lot of workplaces where people have been like, oh, tell me all your secrets, you can trust me.
Oh, backstabbers.
And all you've really done is given them ammunition for gossip. And that's all they're interested in. And it's really hurtful.
That's what it's stabbing in the back end, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that, yeah.
So, yeah, Loveman, he says, yes, your grandfather lives on with you. So, oh, I've got my messages are starting to go mad now.
Yeah, I think that's sort of similar to me. You know, I mean, I obviously lost my mum also, and it was about 10, 11 years, but it's still like, it's like it was yesterday, you know, it's mad.
Yeah.
And then, you know, there isn't always a reason for it either. Like, especially me, like I went through a really really, really down patch and
Yeah.
didn't want to see anyone, do anything, talk to anyone. But there wasn't, I couldn't put my finger on one specific issue
Yeah.
that was causing it. It just, yeah, it's weird. It's a, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's becoming, there's a lot more awareness about it now.
Yeah.
But I think it's still a little bit, unless you're in that position, you don't fully get it.
No, that's right.
I understand it, yeah.
Yeah, there's still, I mean, I remember going to the doctor many years ago and he says, "Oh, you're not depressed, you're just a bit sad. Just do something to make you happy." And you're like, it's
Doesn't
I
work
mean,
like that.
no, I mean, I'm very lucky in that I can do things that will take my mind off it and I can be happy.
Yeah.
But as soon as I stop,
Stop.
I
Yeah.
then back
Yeah.
in a second. And but to everybody else, that's called mood swings. To me, it's remembering the state of mind I'm in. You know, I managed to forget things, forget,
Yeah.
you know, and I'll have a good trip on a bus, and then the very next trip will be an absolutely awful trip, and I'm even to the point I'm thinking I want to quit my job and do another one, and then I'll do my next trip, and it'll be absolutely wonderful, and I forget, and I'm all happy, and
Yeah.
yeah, and it's just that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Um,
So I'm the same. I'm at work and I think, oh, I've had enough of this. I'm
yeah,
moving. That's it. I've had enough. I'm finding another job. And then the next day, you're fine.
well, a good example is today. You know, at the end of the day, I've got a parcel that hasn't arrived. Right, minor thing, really, isn't it? But I've allowed it to consume me so much, and I think that's for me. That's what depression can be about. You can just let because you've got no natural guard of you against things.
No.
It's really nice when I'm in the mood of like, oh well, shit happens. Let's just get on with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dave Mills says he had a doctor who did not believe in depression. Yeah, it's I mean, even now we have a lot of doctors that don't really follow along that theory, do they? They just go have a holiday. See, that's the worst thing, isn't it? I actually had a situation where lack of money was making me depressed, and I was working so hard to make ends meet. And the diagnosis for that was take a foreign holiday. Well, where's the money going to come for the foreign holiday when it's lack of money that's making me in this position?
Yeah.
You know, it's breaking the circle.
It's a bit like
And
my situation now. I'm just, yeah, working all this overtime and stuff just to make ends meet.
yeah, and then
Just so I can get my car I need to get my car's cam belt done, which I've got an update. It's actually being done next week. But I've had to get a very high interest loan, doorstep loan. Not ideal, but
they pay
needs
you in
must.
doorsteps.
Yeah. But no, yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah, it's just I think it's one of those things also you don't get rid of, you just learn to cope with it a bit better, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know, I think we're all a bunch of misfits, aren't we? The lot of us.
Yeah.
We've all got different problems, haven't we?
Yeah. But I think we've all got different problems together. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Is
But
Ben?
Yep.
Is mine going back and forth while like yours?
Yes, what it is
I can't see it on my side.
right. What happens is whichever sound it's picking up, it flicks over to that screen.
Yeah, just do it to me.
Go on, you are now the centre of attention.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I just wondering because I couldn't see it just now.
So I've got to be critical, Chris. You could have brushed your hair before you came on air.
I didn't get some earlier. It needs cutting.
You look like me first thing in the morning.
Well.
So I'm assuming you're in your bedroom because I don't recognise that room.
Yeah, my bedroom and
yeah.
The front. My bedroom's on the front.
As messy as mine.
Yeah, it is tighten up a little.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So yeah, everyone's sort of saying how useless their doctors are. Doctors useless. I mean, says, "Oh God, not him." And James, yeah, sorry, James, I did see you earlier on. Sorry, I do apologise.
Yeah, my doctor's not much help either. I think they are all like that. They just, I don't know.
My doctor just wants to study me. I'll often get a letter saying, "Could I make an appointment for a couple of students to come and interview you?" I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever.
I think a lot of my thinking back, like about this, what we were just talking about. There's me saying, like, I don't really, can't really put a finger on it. But when I was obviously a lot younger, I was brave enough to come out about my sexuality, and I lost pretty much all of my friends. So I know they weren't real friends now, but I think that didn't help. So I think growing up, I've actually been quite alone, and I think maybe that is part of it as well.
Yeah, see, I've got a couple of people who knew me when I was very young, and they still want to know me. Most people don't want to know me, and I'm all right with that. That's the one thing I'm absolutely fine with. If people don't want to know me, that's absolutely fine. In fact, if anything, I've actually become to a point in my life where I don't actually want anything to do with people. I get fed up with people quite easily because
All right, see you later then. Bye.
no, what I mean by that is I actually become paranoid that once I start to get comfortable, that's when things start to go wrong. In fact, I've actually left a couple of jobs that I've been really well thought of, and things are going really, really well. And then that's the point where I've gone, right, I need to find another job. And then I leave on a high because I'm worried that things are going to go wrong. And there's absolutely no foundation for that thought, other than I'm paranoid. So it's something that I'm trying to break. And the fact that I've been at this job now for, so I've actually been here a year and a week now. And I'm really fighting the urge to leave because I'm getting on so well here. My mind is sort of telling me right now it's time to leave. And I'm trying to fight that. But I think that's why I get bored of people. Once I start to get comfortable around people, I'm like, I want to leave now. And I don't go out on people say, are you coming out on a staff night out? And I'll say, yeah, all right, fine, I'll go out on staff night out. And then as it comes closer to the time, I find an excuse to not go. And I'll just say, oh, I was ill or whatever. And it's just that but yeah, it's when people don't want anything to do with me, that kind of makes life easier for me. And I think it's just I've slipped into that little slot. As people say, don't you want a boyfriend? And I'm like, no, because then I've got to give up my time for them. And I've got to get closer to them. And they end up knowing things about my life that other people don't know. And then what if it go, no, and I just can't be bothered. Can't be bothered with it. I'm quite happy, just me. Is that wrong?
No.
You are who you are now.
So, Steve Hyson said, I got fed up with people, but have all the time in the world for my dog. Do you know what? I love dogs because dogs never lie to you. If a dog doesn't like you, you will know.
Exactly. That's true.
Yeah. I mean, your dog, Chris, I hadn't seen you for 3 months, had I? And your dog remembered me instantly.
Yeah, don't we get him? Show him on camera, what?
Yeah, what dog have you got?
A Labrador I got.
He's mental.
I had one of them.
Hang on, I got to grab him now, 2 seconds.
Well, what I was doing when I was around the last week, what I was doing was every time I went, I don't smoke in other people's houses, even if it's a smoking house, or I try not to. And he's got a back garden, so every time I went for a cigarette, I went downstairs and I took the dog with me so the dog could go for a little run, and he absolutely loved it. And I think that calmed him down a little bit as well. Hello, my gorgeous. Oh, I'm trying to get it on. Oh, Chris is gone. Oh, we got all excited. We lost him.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, well, that's a shame. But no, he is a lovely dog. He really is. He's absolutely ballistic. But He needs to calm down a lot, but he's lovely. Really is nice, but he just wants company. And it's like he's like, oh, well, you've got guests round. Why have they not come to see me? So this is very true, Stuart. There is someone for everyone, and you'll know if and when it happens. If it doesn't happen, then it's not meant to be. And Steve Lee says, we love you,
Oh,
Horlicks.
yeah.
Everyone loves you, Horlicks, don't they? So I think you're brilliant. So, well, I wouldn't have you on my channel if I didn't think you were any good, would I?
No, I suppose not.
I've just turned your volume down a bit. Right, okay, so I'm going to talk about ending the show, which probably means we'll end it in about another 3 hours. You know what we're like.
I'm just wondering
So
if Chris is going to manage to.
You have problems. I've spent most of the day playing on my C3PO. Yeah, Sol, you've got a problem there, haven't you? Oh, thank you, Stuart. Love you, Penny. So, yeah. So anyway, good build this week, I thought. Look at that. We've still got 31 people watching. We haven't successfully put them all off. They haven't got bored of us quickly.
I'm wondering if everyone wants to see my nice display base for the bus.
Oh, definitely, yes. Because I don't know what it looks like, do I?
Well,
I haven't got a clue. I don't know what it looks like in the flesh. Parcel Force knows. I don't know.
Parcel Force. Yeah.
I think that's what's happened. I think Parcel Force have got it and they thought, wow, that's awesome. We're going to have that.
Right. I can't say who's done it by request.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. So what will happen is, obviously the issue I need is still wrapped up here, and it's got the little blocks, and they are going to fit perfectly over these, and then obviously the bus will sit on the platform. So
I got my internet went off.
This will be the rear. Yeah, that'll be the rear of the bus, and then obviously the front end will be that side. But that looks beautiful, absolutely lovely. And then obviously that will go, and it fits perfectly on the shelf.
And also, I've seen a picture, and the bus actually fits on that with about ½ an inch clearance either side.
Yeah, let me see if I can get a
perfectly spaced.
Oh, yeah. Just hope it doesn't roll anywhere. I'll just hold the front. There you go.
See, by the time you got the back platform on there, that is absolutely perfect. And it just doesn't it just lift it off the ground just a little bit?
It will do, yeah. Obviously, once we got the blocks on.
Sorry, I'm just reading the comments. Dave Milner's got 25 years of marriage. Kevin Gates has got 27. Someone else said something about the love of they met the love of their life recently. Fleetwood J met the love of his life in 2015, and they're planning a wedding in 3 years. And then Kevin Gates goes, less time for triple murder. So, puppy time. There he is. Hello, my gorgeous.
Yeah, my laptop died. Sorry about that.
That was all right.
Yeah, so I was just reconnected.
Things happen. Oh, hello. He's not seeing me.
Hang on. I'm going to just do it. Ah, fuck. It's good nice.
Hello, my gorgeous. Oh. Hello. No. Hello. Oh, he's a bit nervous there. What's going on here? Hello. No.
Good to see him.
No, I don't think he's recognizing me on screen. Oh, bless him. Just you wait till I come and see you. Bless him.
Yeah, he's like put us on.
Oh.
Yeah.
So right, yeah. So yeah, I mean, loving that base. And do you think that that base could be customizable? You know, like is it um, Fleetwood J?
Jason.
Fleetwood J making
Oh,
the nice diorama.
That must
yeah.
be cool.
Do you know what? I would like. I thought about it, but I don't want. There's been such a lot of work gone to this and making it look nice around the
Yeah,
edge. I think if I start, I thought about putting something on, yeah, on this bit to, make it look like tarmac or cobbled street or something. But the problem is, it's going to stick up.
right.
So whatever I do,
Also, you've got the problem of that wood on its own. It's beautiful in its simplicity, isn't it?
That's awesome, isn't it?
Just wood.
yeah. But I haven't decided fully yet. I'll obviously wait till I've got it together and the
Yeah.
more of the buses on there, and then I'll maybe look at it later on. But I mean, the only other thing I thought of doing was maybe trying to find some what do you call it? That sticky back plastic stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm wondering if I can,
Double sided
yeah,
tape.
maybe stick a layer of that over the top, like
Yeah.
in a tarmacy sort of style, or I don't know. I don't know.
There's options, isn't there?
Yeah.
I've got plenty of time to explore them.
Yeah.
Piece
So
of shed roof felt for road would be nice. Oh, that's a really good idea, Fleetwood. Yeah.
yeah,
Mind you can only buy it in huge rolls. Only need a tiny bit.
yeah. Only thing is, we could probably ship. Well, I don't know. I mean, how cheap is it? Is it would it be
Is it-
more cost effective to buy a sheet and share it between us?
Well, yeah, it's a roll of about 20 meters, isn't it?
Yeah, each take a meter or something between 20.
Mm.
But then someone's got to pay postage, haven't they, to get it delivered somewhere? And just don't send it by parcel force.
I love it. Yeah. And I was going to say, actually, Fleetwood, where did you get your little post box from? Was that 3D printed, or did you buy that as is? Or was it homemade? I don't know. I mean, yeah, I was looking at it. I keep looking at that post of yours. It's just amazing.
Oh, do you know what? I'm really trying to save money now.
And the birds on the pavement and that eating,
That's
and
awesome.
it just the attention to detail.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to save money, and I look at his diorama, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not ever going to have any money ever again, am I? I know I'll cave one day.
eBay for right, okay, yeah. I mean, I don't want to obviously copy, but there's some really good ideas there, and I love it. Yeah,
Yeah, I say I do love.
That'd be quite cool for the base of the vessel.
Oh, Fleetwood, you've just reminded me. Actually, I made a post on Facebook about painting. Fleetwood J has repainted his well, he's now called him Mr. Hachette, is it? Now please don't say think I'm saying it about a negative. Really, really good paint job. But obviously, as a miniature painter, I'm looking at that and thinking, well, we could take that to a higher stage. So what I'm probably might do it next week, actually, if there's not much to build. I'm going to do some basic painting and oh, that's broken. I was going to use this, but it's broken. What I'm going to look at doing with you is I'm going to do some basic painting. Going to explain a little bit about paint. I'm going to explain about base painting, thinning paints, trying to get a good finish. And then what we'll do is we'll do some shading and we'll do some highlighting just to make things pop a little bit. I'm going to pull out, I know I do this a lot and I do apologize. Let's pull out, there we go, pull this guy out. So what I've got here is a wood troll, and what we've effectively done with him is we've given him an all-over coat of one colour. Hang on, I've got my camera the wrong way around again. I didn't put it back. There you go. Right, sorry guys. Camera's gone all wobbly and loose. Right, so what we've done is we've taken a basic single color, then we've added some like an ink. It's a wash, so that's run into the recesses, and then what we've done is on the higher bits we've then brought the color up, so it's added a lot more depth. So it's more three-dimensional, and that's what I'm looking at doing, and hopefully we'll do that when it's a little bit of a slower issue. And it's I mean you've done it yourself, haven't you, Horlicks? You know you've done a bit of basic painting. You know, and it makes such a difference, doesn't it?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, as well, you've all seen. I don't know if you've seen it, Chris. My last paint was the.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that's cool.
Which took me hours.
You enjoyed the white, didn't you?
Because I messed up, and then Penny said, "You do realise you're going to have to do about 50,000 coats on that." I'm like, "Oh no."
Yeah, I kind of forgot to tell you beforehand.
Because I thought white would go over it, no problem, being such a bright colour. But it's funny colour, isn't it? White. It's not really a colour. It's weird.
It's just got its own unique properties.
So
it's just that is what it is.
So Horlicks, you're going to change your colour bus then, or are you going to keep yours just standard?
My Routemasters?
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep it standard.
Oh, yeah,
I haven't actually modded any of my my builds.
Yeah.
I haven't even. I mean, I know a lot of people on the DeLorean are using the EL wire to make it look better.
Yeah.
But do you know what? It's such a ball ache to work on. I've given up. Well, I haven't given up with it. I'm going to carry on with the build, but I'm just a bit meh about the DeLorean build.
What's next on the DeLorean then? How much is left on it?
I'm on issue 104. I think I've released 104. I'm just having a look.
It's 105 on it. Can't remember.
105. Yeah, actually, it might. Yeah, I think you're right there. So 105. Do you know what? I sorted all my stuff out and I've lost it.
Yeah.
105. So I've still got 106, 107, which I've filmed. So yeah, there's about 23 issues left, and then it's done after that.
But you can't wait, can you?
Yeah.
Do you know what? It'd be nice to save the money, but you know, I have enjoyed the build, but it's just hasn't gone together as nicely as R2D2 and the Routemasters. Everything glides together in the Routemasters.
Do you think that's an Eagle Moss thing, or do you think it's a DeLorean thing?
I don't know. I think I'd like to say it's just a DeLorean thing because I know. I'm sure you won't mind saying. World of Wayne. He got the test issues for Ecto 1, and he said the screws were going in lovely. Like it just seemed like a really nice build.
Yeah.
Right, which is Eagle Moss.
Yeah.
So
because one of the build that I'm looking at the moment, which is the build a Land Rover.
That looks good. I haven't seen that yet.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
But the two queries I've got at the moment, if you subscribe as premium, £100 an issue, you get a free welding kit, which goes into the actual Land Rover.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
I don't suppose for a minute you'll actually be able to weld with it. But how many issues are there in total? We don't know. If there's 100 issues, then obviously you're paying £100. I wouldn't pay £130 for it. It just doesn't look like, unless it's actually going to do something.
Yeah.
It looks no more. It looks about as complex as the engine, which for the Routemaster. But the Routemaster, I think that the engine comes over 3 issues.
Yeah.
Which is 25 quid. 30 quid. 30, 20, 30, 35 quid. So, you know, do you want to pay 100, 130 pounds for something that looks about as interesting as a Routemaster engine?
So when's that build coming up then?
Well, I rang Eagle Moss and they said it was due out on Saturday.
Yeah.
I've been in the shop every day asking about it and no one's heard of it. So I don't know if they just told me something just to get me off the phone. But they've
So many issues that, you know.
Leyland PD2. Remind me what the Leyland PD2 is. I cannot remember. But yeah, and also I think that all of the part work companies, the customer service, I think they're all the same company. Because there we go. Land Rover Builders on hold apparently. Right, so someone else has been told something different. See, I was told it was released on. I was told on Friday that it was released on Saturday. Now someone else has said it's on hold. But you know, and then you're getting these part works that are coming out on test, and then they disappear, and then they're being told that live builds are coming out, and there's so many. See, if I knew when these builds were coming out, then I can plan them.
Plan a bit better, yeah.
Yeah. See, the D'Agostini, if I've got a choice between two builds and one of them is a D'Agostini, I would not do the D'Agostini one because I know it all comes out on model space. As I can always get that and start that anytime. Eagle Moss and Hachette, they stopped taking subscriptions after a certain time. But even the even the Hachette ones, provided they're still in stock, you can get the old issues, but they don't seem to restock the older ones, do they? So it's you've got to get but Eagle Moss, they don't seem well based on the DeLorean. I'm not keen on Eagle Moss. But then was it Fleetwood? Was it you had problems with the Samba from a company that I've not had any issues with at all? Problems. So yeah, it's I say I do the Millennium Falcon and the Harley, and I'm ecstatic about it. Well, the Harley, my thoughts on the Harley. I love it, but there's nothing to build yet.
That's interesting.
But the Millennium Falcon,
yeah,
I'm loving that. Sorry, Chris, were you going to say something?
I said, yeah, considering I'm just considering what build to do next myself.
Yeah. Or maybe I should just not build anything part worky. Maybe wait till the Routemaster finishes.
Or just carry on with like you're doing, 3D print projects.
Yeah. Sort of, we've started our show along this route and then sort of let it take its own path, which may not be part works. So, oh, of course. Do you know what? I'm so sorry, Dave. I knew PD2, but I couldn't remember where. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I tell you what, if they did the PD2, yeah, I'd be up for that one. In fact, I'd see if Newport Transport would buy it and let me build it for them. That'd be brilliant. Yeah, there's quite a few things now that are on offer, and I think it's funny because the 3D printer is on offer at such a good price. It's like 250 quid or something. But I've got to be honest with you, I don't think it's worth that. Now that I've seen the other printers, I wouldn't. What do you reckon, Horlicks?
I wouldn't touch a part work printer again. I mean, I'm basing this on the Vector 3, and I had nothing but ag with it. And bless him, looking at Chris Camplin with his printer, I mean, as far as, correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I'm aware, you haven't even managed to get a print out of it yet.
No.
And I know for you it's time, and you haven't necessarily had the time to spend on it, but yeah, I just don't think they're up to much. If they did like a Prusa or Prusa or something, part work, I'd be interested because as long as it was a genuine, a genuine Prusa, because in they're kits anyway, aren't they? You build them. So if they did something along those lines, I'd be interested.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about building a 3D printer. There's a joke going around the internet now, isn't there? Buy yourself a 3D printer, print a 3D printer with it, then send back the original printer for a refund and tell them you don't want it anymore.
Yeah, it's easy to do. Yeah.
Yeah. But that was one of the things that shocked me when I first looked on Thingiverse, print a 3D printer. And I'm like, it's like building your own replacement. It's like, to me, that's like you're doing your job and then they come in and they go, right, this guy's going to be taking over your job. Could you train them up so that we can sack you? Dave Milne's asking what 3D printer we would recommend. And I think we would both recommend different printers, wouldn't we?
No, not necessarily. I think what you've got is very good. For what it is and the price, I would recommend what Penny's got, to be honest. I mean, I've only got the Ultimaker because it just so happens to be at work and long story, but I wouldn't be able to afford to just go and buy. They're more for professional use, I think. But for home projects and things, I think, Penny, you've got the ideal printer. And one day I would like to get one.
Yeah, I like mine because it's got the bigger print bed. It's got 300 print bed. They do the Ender for less than £200, which is, I think it's 150 by 150 or 200 by 200. And for doing the R2D2, you could still do all the parts, but you'd have to use the smaller cut version. So like the pies for the top of the dome, you'd have to do those in 4 pieces rather than 2. So I'm doing everything in a lot less prints, but they've got the bigger one, which can do the whole dome, do the body in 1 piece. So whereas I'm doing it in 13 pieces, if you had the bigger printer, you could do it all in one. But I'm a little bit uneasy with prints that are going to take like 4 days because it's so different things can go wrong. So I'm calling mine a medium-sized printer now because they're coming up with bigger ones and they've got smaller ones. I would say medium size is probably the best way to go. But if you're short budget, go for something like the Ender, which is exactly the same as mine, but it's a little bit smaller. To consider producing a further buses. Yeah. Do you know what? Now, I noticed that Hachette had a partwork out, Buses of the World or something, but it only seemed to have about 2 issues there. So is that because the uptake wasn't there? Because bus enthusiasts are kind of looked down on the world, aren't they? I'm starting to get accused of being a bus enthusiast now, but I don't actually have a problem with it. But we do. I'm sorry if you ever turned up at Newport bus station. We do kind of take the mickey, or where they come out, or here come the rubbernecks. But that's the way it is. It's like train spotters, isn't it? You know, let's go down the train station with our flask of weak lemon tea and our biscuits, and we'll with our little, and that's what the bus spotters are like. And you see them running out across the road, nearly killing themselves just to get the perfect position to take the picture. Right, let me see if I can get you some links for 3D printer.
Yeah, well, I can't remember. Where did you get yours from, Penny?
I got mine from no, I got mine from Box. www. I can't type because I'm on a different computer, but www.box.co.uk, and the printer is a Creality S5 CR10S.
CR10.
Yeah, CR10S or something like that. But
a London Taxi we've got to build as well.
Say again, Chris, sorry?
A London Taxi.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen nothing on the London Taxi, but people have mentioned it, so I don't know if that's something in the pipeline. But
that'd be quite awesome. We could provide the bus then.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did a London. You know, if the bus is going well, I think London Taxi would be perfect, especially if they could get the old. I can't remember who made. I think it's an Austin, the old Austin Taxi with the front passenger side was just an open space, and then you got I think it's about 6 people sit in the back.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Dave Milne, he takes the mickey out train spotters as well, but
here we go. I've got a link for the printer.
Brilliant. I mean, I'm actually looking at getting the
They do the bigger one as well.
Yeah. Round here they have comb overs. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. I think that might actually be my printer. It'd be about £300 or £350.
Yeah, and they do the extra large one there for 549.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm actually really shocked at the price difference because all the electronics and the technical stuff the same. The only thing that's bigger is the frame.
Maybe that's the it could be the software on the actual box.
I
But
suppose. I would have expected it to. I suppose it's bigger, isn't it? So you're paying for that. But yeah, all the motors and everything will be the same.
yeah.
I mean, you could turn your 3D printer into the size of your room if all you have to do is edit the code.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, I think I can change the Cura settings, can't I? Because I just changed the print bed. But all that will happen is that on the end, it's got sensors, like little switches, and when it hits the set switch, it stops. So obviously, if I made the bed bigger and moved those sensors, it would just keep going. But I find if I've got like if there you go, if that's my print bed and this corner here is just not quite level enough, it's going to affect it up there as well. So as you can imagine, that is going to be a lot. If that's out ever so slightly, it's not really going to make too much difference because it's a small area. But if you've got something that big, a little bit out there is going to really affect it. It's going to amplify it. So that's why I don't trust this print, this failed print. The reason it failed was it was a little bit out down here. It was absolutely perfect up to about there. And down here it was out a little bit. It was this corner there. It started to lift. And then once it starts to lift, the air gets into it. The warm air's there and it's lifting and it starts to work its way across. And that's all it is, just a little tiny bit out there affected it all the way up there. So that's why I at the moment, I'm not trusting the bigger beds. But at the moment, I'm not trusting my printer. But there you go.
It's 3D printing, isn't it? You have good days and bad days. It's the same for me. No, I haven't actually used my 3D printer for a while, and I tried to print off something the other day. Oh, actually, it was I haven't. It was my Raspberry Pi case, and I've made a case here, homemade one. And I've put a fan in it, and I've attached an on-off button to the side, and I tried to print the case, and the printer wasn't having none of it.
Yeah.
And, it all blocked up and bunged up, and I thought, quick clean out, and it was all right. But if you leave them,
yeah,
retired.
If I change brands of filament, that causes me problems. It's where I used up some of that cheap filament I had, and then to the yellow, that caused a few problems to start with. So right, guys, would anyone object to me calling this stream to an end? It's been absolutely brilliant, but it's starting to get a bit late.
Yeah, I need to go and eat some dinner.
Yeah, I need to sleep, calm myself down. I'm going to have nightmares about meeting this past guy. Oh, I might turn violent if I see him. So, does anybody have anything to add to any questions for Chris before we go? Because we may not see him again for a few more weeks. We have a guest lined up for next week, which we've not finalized, so I'm not going to say anything. And then 52, I believe that will be a Dave Say week. If Dave Say would still be happy to come on. We love having him on, but we don't know if he actually really likes coming on. He might just be saying that, mightn't he?
Yeah.
So, and hopefully he'll have loads of. I think Dave, you have got updates for us, haven't you? I think you posted some pictures on Facebook. if I am correct. So do you know, I've just got visions now of up north. You've got all these bus spotters and train spotters that look like Bobby Charlton. You don't know Bobby Charlton, do you? Horlicks.
No.
No. You don't know football, do you?
No.
No.
I'm sorry to say. No. I'm absolute bore. Sorry.
No, I wouldn't say bore. It's just, although I'd say I've got to send a message to a good friend of mine. He's a Man City fan, and he sent me a message the other day. It was Saturday, and it just went nice big close up on the phone. He just went, "Your team are shit." And I chatted to him, and because I hadn't checked the football results, so I thought we'd lost, and I looked, and we'd actually won. And well, obviously, I saw the result last night. I'm assuming Dave Mel would be quite happy with the result last night. Newcastle played Man City. Obviously, my mate is a Man City fan, so I might just send him a message to say, "Oh, I saw the Newcastle result the other day. Your team are shit." Yeah, brilliant. We're always happy to have you on, Dave. Yeah, no, I bet Dave's really, because I believe Newcastle really aren't up to par at the moment. So to take a win against Man City. But that reminds me, next Tuesday, I'm doing a big favour for someone. So I'm going to be rushed again. I'm going to be doing the same duties did today. Someone's asked me to swap duties because don't know if you're aware, but Newport had rather a good result in the FA Cup. So they've got a replay against Middlesbrough next Tuesday. And if they win, and I think they can win actually. I didn't know there was a meeting in London. Apparently there was a meeting in London that Hachette held for the Routemasters build. Oh, that's a shame. But yeah, anyway, getting back to Newport. If Newport win, they shall be home to Man City in the next round of the Cup. So maybe Newport can do a Newcastle. And you never know in the Cup, do you? So, sorry, we're talking about a subject you know absolutely nothing about. His mind's just gone blank, look.
Sorry, no, do you know what? I'm being really naughty.
No, you're all right.
I've seen that printer, there's me talking about it, that you've got. I've just noticed they do like a finance option.
They do, and I've signed up for that, and it's actually not too bad. It's about £10 a month or something.
That's if you want to do it for long haul, but I've just selected over 10 months, £37, which is like a partwork, isn't it?
It is actually, isn't it?
But my credit's pretty bad, but I'm not sure if it's gone through or not at the moment. I'm just I was
Horlicks.
Yeah.
No, be careful. We want you to spend all your money on partworks.
That will be. I'll build a bit of the printer every week.
Yeah, and maybe you can do a stream similar to mine. Oh, that was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Go on, Horlicks. Tell everyone about when I built my printer.
Well, Penny's very...
First of all, how many times did I swear? It wasn't many, was it?
No, about 50,000 times. But I think I was trying to explain. I was getting really stressed. I'm going to admit that because I'm sitting there trying to help. Penny's off on one, screaming, effing, blinding, and I'm saying, Penny, just calm down. Let's just do one thing at a time. Take this wire, and then she'll grab the wire and go, yeah, and then she'll go off on something else, and it's just like, oh, yeah, it was really stressful actually.
I think it was stressful for everyone, wasn't it?
I was just like, take a breath, just do one thing at a time, and then your mind wandered to the next part, and it's like, let's just do this part first.
I couldn't figure out where the wire. There were like 2 C's and 3 A's, and 58 Bs, and I'm like, I don't know where it goes.
Which I'm surprised at, because you're very calm and very methodic when you're doing your part work. So
Yeah, but
I think it was the whole excitement of it all. You just wanted to plug it in.
It probably was, but I'm going to use the excuse that the instructions were written in Chinese English. That's why
it's difficult.
I'm sticking with it.
Mm.
But it was quite simply like, you take this and you do that, and there you are, you've got a printer. But it was just, I don't know, I suppose there was a part of me that, I was excited that I had a 3D printer, but also it was like, I wanted to just plug it in and go for it.
Mm.
And you really want probably, and then the bed leveling. I did not realize there was so much to bed leveling. And it's like, I leveled all 4 corners, and then I forget that as you level one corner, it's going to knock another corner out. So I'm leveled all 4 corners, and then I go back to the Horlicks goes, well, now you got to level it again. And I'm thinking, well, why? I've just leveled it. And then I'll level that first corner. It's like miles out. So I'll adjust it. And then, because not realizing it, I'll knock another corner out. So I must have leveled it about 4 or 5 times. Something like that.
Something like that. And then you were effing and blinding at that as well.
Yeah, well, I just wanted it now. It's like, it'll work. And then once you start printing, you're like, how long does it take? Because it's not quick, is it?
No,
I mean, now it's a case of, I'll just re-level my bed, and then I'll probably level it 3 or 4 times, and then I'll do a print. 8 hours. That's a good one. That'll be finished before I go to bed. And it's a point now that if it's less than 12 hours, that's acceptable, and that's the way it is. So, and then when I get the odd little print and it's like 2 hours, and I'm like, oh, fantastic, 2 hours. But it's if I built that same printer now, I think I'd be a lot less stressy over it. But I was a bit impatient, but we can look back now and laugh. We can laugh about it now, can we?
The thing is, you were excited about it, but if you just like calm down and listen, we probably would have been up and running an hour earlier than it was.
Yeah, but you know me now, don't you? But it is interesting that you say about I'm calm and methodical, and the way I do my part works. Then the 3D printer, I was just like completely different with it. So
which one am I going for? Oh, I haven't actually done it yet. I might not even get through the credit thing, to be honest. But the same as Penny's, the Creality CR10S.
But you will just be warned that you will probably benefit from upgraded parts. That's what's going to kill you. So, and you want a 3D pen as well, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, get the 3D pen. Don't worry about the printer. Yeah. I'm just worried for you. Right. Okay then. So, right. So let's wait. I'm going to wait until I get a 3D printer. There's a scanner. They do have scanners, but I'm told that they're not really good at the moment. But they are quite expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen one that seems to work really well. Well, it looked to work really well, but it was stupid money.
Yeah. Basically, you're still at the stage where if you want something that's really good, you are going to be paying stupid money. I mean, World of Wayne's getting a nice big printer soon, so I'll see how he gets on with it, because I trust comments from World of Wayne, because he's honest, isn't he? He's not scared to say, well, that's a load of crap, isn't it? Sorry, how are you getting on with Seaport, by the way? I've been a bit naughty. I think I've got Horlicks into a game. I will show you this. I found a game on Android.
Do you know what? I have been playing it, and I did a few bits today, but I'm quite quickly getting bored, because I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing. Well, I know what you're supposed to do, but I I don't know the full game yet.
Right, yeah, I suppose that's where I've been developing it. But I've been playing. You got like a little port, and I like it. But see, I was playing that Coin Master before, and I just got really fed up of it because I was getting to like
It's okay.
I need 4 million credits to build up a
Come on.
village, and you get to like 3.9 million, and then someone raids you and steals 2 million off you, and you're like, oh, it's taken me 2 days to get to that point.
Oh, okay.
It's all gone, and I just went, oh, I've had enough. So I just thought, well, I play games to relax. When I started to get stressed out over them, it's time to uninstall the game, isn't it? And this game, the only stress I have about it is that I don't seem to have enough. You never have enough ships, so you're always looking to buy ships, or something's not producing resources quick enough, so you've got to upgrade it. But while you're upgrading it, it's not producing resources. So, and it's just most games, when you're a low level, you're building up things really quickly, and then you hit this point where just nothing gets built up quickly, and then once you hit another level, it then just suddenly starts going for it. So, and I think I'm just reaching that middle stage now. So I'm having problems getting stone. So I found this little island where I can get stone from. So I'm just sending all my ships out to get stone. And I like it because there's no competition with other people. And that's what I like. It's like I would play things like COD on the PlayStation, but I'll walk into this world and I haven't got a clue what I'm doing, and I'll have some little 6-year-old that's hiding up somewhere with a sniper rifle, and I'll last like 6 seconds, and then I get wound up because no one's giving me the chance to learn because everyone's just out shooting the newbie. And
yeah, I'm like that with them.
Red Dead Redemption, we used to play that on a friendly mode where you can't shoot other players and you could steal their kills. But that requires skill, and that was a bit different. So, but yeah, right, guys. So it's just about 10:30 now. So I'm gonna sign off now. So I'm gonna give Chris the first chance to say goodbye.
Thanks, Paddy.
Yeah, not a problem. Absolute pleasure having you on.
And you, Horlicks, sir.
Would you be happy coming on again, Chris?
I could come on as much as you want. I don't mind. I'm free every Wednesday. So
lovely. Okay, well we'll find another time for you to come on.
I've got a suggestion for you.
Yeah.
Do you want me to come on with Dave C as well? When he does it every 4 weeks, I come on with him. Will that work?
It could do, yeah. We'll see how it goes. Let's get Dave on next time, and then we'll see how things go.
Yeah, that would be
it would be nice to have everyone on in one go, but I think it would be quite nice to sort of split it up a bit.
Yeah.
Because obviously Dave comes on every 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to have you on, Chris, like another week in between.
I like every fortnight, you say.
Pardon?
Like every 2 weeks, you say, would you?
Yeah, I mean, we'll look at that.
Yeah, we'll have to have a look and see what's what. And...
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I don't mind whatever you say. I don't mind. I'm easy going. Off that. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant.
Sounds cool to me.
Yeah, okay. So I was just replying to a message to Dave. Dave says, ask me what game it is because Mrs. Dave was asking. So the game is called Seaport, but I can't remember.
Hey, can you play that on your phone, don't you?
Yeah, and it's nice. I mean, I'm at the point now where things are taking a long time. So I can perhaps send my ships off to an island where it takes an hour, then jump on my bus and do a trip. And then when I come off my bus, my ships have just come back. So, oh, bless you, love minis. Yeah, it's cold where you are now, isn't it? Apparently, there is snow coming in Wales tomorrow. So, obviously, the advice is, we might have snow for 2 days. So, don't forget to buy every single pint of milk and every loaf of bread there is in the world, like last year. If you remember that. everyone's like, "Oh, it's a half an inch of snow. Better buy everything we can." Right. Okay, guys. So I'm going to disappear now. Thank you ever so much for watching. So goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from Horlicks.
Thank you.
Yeah. See you later, everyone. Have a good evening, and yeah, we'll see you next Wednesday.
I will just do this before I go. Johnson Hazel's asked me to repeat the screws again. So we have got 6 DP screws, 6 IP screws. Well, we've got 7, but we're using 6. Instruction part 2. The picture is telling us to use JP screws, which is incorrect. But the written instructions correctly tells us to use IP screws. So on issue 50, ignore JP screw, the word JP, and replace that with IP. Right, guys. So that's it for me then. Have a wonderful night, everybody. And I will see you all next week. If we've got a big build, obviously we'll be doing a big build. If it's a small build, I'll make sure I've got something ready to paint.
Before you go on, Pen, one more question.
Yeah.
You know what he said on the next week's issue?
Yes.
What do they mean by it goes on a canopy? What's it?
You know the front wall that you may or may not have done.
Yeah. You know the front wall. Yeah. So that's going to be the driver. You mean, is it?
Yeah. Well, just round about here, you're going to have a little bit which is going to say number 11 on it.
Well, underneath, say the driver's cab's there on the right.
Yeah. Right, so there's the driver's cab. So you see there, we've got the destination number 11.
Yeah. Can you,
that's the part we're going to do.
Yeah, bring
closer.
Oh, yeah, but there you mean do?
Yeah. So basically, we're going to do that bit there.
Oh, yeah, cool. Oh, that's one thing I wasn't sure.
Yeah. There's also speculation that we may be putting some windows in.
That'd be good then.
Let me have a look. No, you can't really tell if there's windows in. So don't be shocked if there's no windows, but don't be totally shocked if there are. So, right, guys. So, thank you very much, and I'll catch you all next week.
See you next week.
Yeah, see you later. Nice to see you.
Bye.
Right.